Hello again, everybody. Scotty P here, coming to you with another edition of Algalytics. This time I'm at Rehoboth Beach in Delaware. This is where President Biden, when you see him on weekends riding his bike on the bike trail here, and everyone's saying that he should be working. This is where he comes. This is his home state. About a mile that way is the Atlantic Ocean and the beach. There's a little canal here to my right. Hopefully we don't get interrupted by a booze cruise. It's morning here on the East Coast, so we probably shouldn't. But back here today to talk about another excruciating loss last night. AlgaVision gave us another secondary selection. That's when their algorithm gives a pick out that is a 60% or better win probability. And over many, many years, these picks, the secondary and primary picks, which are 70+% win probabilities, have won nearly 65% of the time, completely documented. All the documentation is available on AlgaVision.com. Check it out, AlgaVision.com. The story of the company, the story of the product, the story of the algorithm, how it all works. It's all right there, as well as all the documentation for years and years of picks. I've been tracking the results for 5 years myself. It's an amazing product, winning 60+% of the time consistently over the long term. And I'm here also to provide transparency, to talk about the picks on a daily basis. We'll celebrate the wins. We'll cry about the losses, shake our heads at some of them, like the last couple nights, and that's what I'm here for. One of the great things about AlgaVision is not only the long-term success and ROI, a return on investment that rivals many investment options, surpasses many investment options available to us today on the market. The 65% or close to it win percentage, the ROI, but also transparency. Everything's documented, everything's certified, and I'll tell you when they win and I'll tell you when they lose. And unfortunately, the last couple of nights have been very much identical losses, 6-5 walk-off losses, 2 nights in a row. Last night in extra innings, as the Milwaukee Brewers with Corbin Burns, one of their aces on the mound, as a -190 favorite, lost in extra innings to the Colorado Rockies, one of the weaker teams, one of the more up and down teams, I should say. Pretty good at home, but not good on the road. But in MLB, that matchup on paper, Corbin Burns has been very, very strong on the mound. Looked like a really good matchup. Numbers look great. And frankly, their bullpen, the Brewers bullpen with Josh Hader anchoring it, is outstanding. And the Brewers took a 4-2 lead into the fifth, gave up runs in the fifth, sixth, and seventh, ended up down 5-4, and then came back in the ninth with back-to-back doubles. Got the bases loaded with 1 out versus Daniel Bard, the closer. Had him on the ropes, chance to really do some damage. And then you go to Hader, who was lights out in the bottom of the ninth, and his ERA is .63. 1 out, bases loaded, you scratch across a run there, and you win the game. And with Hader coming in to close it out, and unfortunately, we had a force out play at home. Colton Wong. Geez, it's early here on Saturday. Colton Wong hit into a force out. They cut the runner down at the plate, and then the next batter, Fisher, went down looking. He did not swing at the last 2 pitches and struck out looking against Bard, who got out of the jam. But even in the 10th, Hader comes in, shuts him down. And there's another question here, like things we can't control, right? Bases loaded, 1 out. 50% of the time Major League Baseball teams score. The Brewers can't get the run across. They did everything they needed to do to win the game. They had one of their top starters on the mound. They had the bullpen advantage, which AlgaVision's algorithm loves. And they had a situation with the closer on the ropes and couldn't finish it off. You can't count on that. No algorithm, no formula, no equation is going to factor those things in. It factors what's going to happen the vast majority of the time in those situations. And unfortunately, it didn't play out the way we wanted. Interestingly enough, they used Hader in the bottom of the ninth. Devin Williams came in the bottom of the 10th, gave up 1 hit right away with the runner on second with these crazy new stupid MLB rules. The game's over. One batter, 1 hit, game over. Maybe you use Williams in the ninth. I mean, don't you want your best pitcher coming out? You don't have the lead, right? Your closer is there to save games. You don't have the lead, so he's lights out, .63 ERA. Don't you want that guy in the mound with the runner on second, starting the inning in extra innings? That's me. Just call me crazy. Of course, you got to get to extra innings, but you also need to know that you've got Kristen Yelich coming up to lead off, one of your best players, an all-star, a former MVP. Obviously, his numbers haven't been as good in recent years, but he's still one of their top guys. He was leading off with a runner on second in the 10th. If they get there, of course they have to get there, but Devin Williams is a good pitcher, 3.42 ERA. Yeah, he came in the 10th and gave up a hit, Maybe that doesn't happen in the ninth. But to me, you want Josh Hader. You want to have him in the holster. Bring him in the 10th with a runner on second, because he's tough to do everything against. He's tough to hit against. He's tough to bunt against. He's tough to get on bait. Like, just, he's a guy you want there. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. Those are things we can't control. CJ Cron, very good hitter. Fastball, 2-2 pitch, gets a base hit to right center field to win the game. We lose. Another tough loss. That's 2 6-5 walk-offs in a row. Lots of things that you can't control there. And again, long-term, we're looking for the long-term victories, the long-term winning percentage of 60 to 65%, the long-term ROI. A couple losses in a row. Still in the month of June, I believe, secondaries and primaries now are 6-4, still 60% for the month of June. We also had a bonus selection yesterday. Now, bonus selections are not recommended picks. They're not advised picks. What I do with the bonus selection is, since it's a 55% or better win probability, I take it and compare it to other information that's out there. Yesterday, we had the Dodgers at -202 as a bonus selection with Trevor Bauer on the mound. Lots of pro and sharp money was going against Bauer. The line dropped from -240 to -202. But keep in mind that may have been an overreaction to what's going on with all these MLB rules now, and they're going to crack down on foreign substances and sticky substances on the ball. And Bauer's one of those guys who increases spin rate, tons over the last couple of years. So he's obviously a guy that we're all thinking, oh, maybe he was cheating, or maybe he was bending the rules or stretching the envelope, whatever you might want to say. So overs in Major League Baseball have been up since this whole thing started. I think they were like 26-13 in the last 39 games going into yesterday. So lots of skepticism about Bauer. To me, former Cy Young Award winner, ERA is 2.4. His WHIP is under 1. That's a guy that when I can get good odds on him of -200 or close to 200 or lower, I love that pick. The fact that AlgaVision was on it, I love that. And the crazy thing there was the over-under was 9.5. He's going against Caleb Smith with a 3.2 ERA. Smith actually gives up 1 hit and strikes out 5 in 6 innings. And for the game, there were only 6 total hits, but kind of because of how things get skewed, because of public perception, lots of big money. People don't like Trevor Bauer. He's a big personality. Either you love him or you hate him. Lots of money coming in against Bauer. Lots of money coming in against the Dodgers. The line goes down to something that's palatable for me, at -202. Bauer wins at 3-0. 6 total hits in the game. The over-under was 9.5. Not an AlgaVision pick. That was a Scotty P pick. I took that one in a heartbeat. 9.5 over-under with Bauer and Smith on the mound. 3 runs, 6 hits total in the game. Winner. The bonus pick wins. And my personal pick, which I did not give out here, but my personal pick won. So pretty happy about that. But on the flip side, I also had VGK. I had the Vegas Golden Knights last night as a game that I thought, and another team did everything humanly possible to win the game. Outshot them by 19, the Canadians, 46-27, I think, somewhere around there. Fleury was lights out in goal until he gives the puck up in the third period with a 2-1 lead. Just loses the puck in front of the net, wide open goal. And the Canadians score, and all of a sudden they've got all the momentum and they win in overtime. Again, you can't bank on things like that. AlgaVision, any algorithm would suspect that Fleury's not going to hand them a goal, right? One of the best goalies in the league, and just a devastating loss maybe. Canadians have all the momentum and all the luck on their sides right now. They're up 2-1 in Montreal. Just an incredible win there, come back late. But that's a game. That was a game I really liked. I'm a hockey guy. Vegas -1. Anytime you get Vegas at -167 when they were -250 the day before, lots of value there, except there's no value when you lose, right? But to me, that was a great pick. They did everything they needed to do to win, and they lost. And that's what happens. That's why if we can win 65% of the time or close to it, like AlgaVision, you're in pretty darn good shape. Looking at some of the results overall from yesterday, Major League Baseball underdogs were 8-7. The Orioles and Pirates both snapped long winning streaks. The Orioles snapped an 8-game losing streak, not a winning streak. They're not winning, believe me. I live in Baltimore. 8-game losing streak. The Orioles snapped as a +180 underdog against the Jays, and the Pirates as a +120 underdog. Both teams were getting tons of sharp money. Who would have thought, right? Sharps and pros all over the 2 coldest teams in the game. The Pirates snap a 10-game winning streak with the win against Cleveland. Overall, though, this year, favorites still winning at a 58% clip in MLB, 578 and 421. But remember, lots of juice with Major League Baseball favorites. You can't just bet favorites and make money. You might break even at 58%, but with AlgaVision, AlgaVision sorts out the favorites and gives you the top selections, gives the clients and customers only the best selections, only the ones that fit all the rules, all the restrictions, and that the algorithm spits out as top probability to win. And you weed those out, you win 65% of the time. Now you're making money no matter what the odds are. And that's what's great about AlgaVision. Long-term ROI, incredible. Long-term winning percentage over many years, documented, incredible. NBA last night, the Clippers down 25 points. Another incredible comeback. The Sixers blew a 26-point lead the night before. The Clippers eliminate the Jazz and don't allow the Jazz to force a game 7. They win the series 4-2. They're down 25. They outscored them by 37 points in that over the rest of the game after they were down 25. They cover as +3 underdogs. They win the series 4-2. The game goes over 221. The 76ers and the Hawks. The 76ers cover as -3 favorites, 104-99, a barely cover. Another short favorite covers. They force a game 7 back at home in Philly. Favorites in the NBA, 13-9 in the second round overall. Straight up 11-10-1 round 2 against the spread. Favorites are 43-22 overall in the playoffs right now, straight up. And they are 39-25-1 or 61% against the spread. Home teams 15-7 in the second round, 13-8-1 against the spread in the second round. 37-28 home teams overall, straight up. 39-29 overall against the spread in the playoffs. The unders are 13-8-1. Teams are playing defense now. The numbers are finally adjusting, but you could have won pretty big on some under bets in the second round overall. Though it's 32-31-2 in favor of the unders in the NBA playoffs. Again, we talked about the Vegas Montreal game. They're going to Montreal now leads 2-1. They're going to game 4, the over-under, the total pushed at 5. In the NHL right now, favorites are 3-3 in the semifinal round, 37-32 overall for the playoffs. Home teams 3-3 in the semifinals, 37-35 overall for the playoffs. The unders 3-1-2 in the second round, and 37-32-3 overall in the playoffs. NBA, looking ahead, we've got a game 7. The Bucks were a 104-89 winner against the Nets in the last game and covered the spread. They were down 0-2 in the series, have won 3 of the last 4. There's a game 7 against the Nets. The public is all over the Nets right now. 75% of the bets and the money on the Nets. The game went from a pick'em to a -1 favorite for the Nets. So Brooklyn appears to be getting some sharp or professional money as well. The over under the total is dropped from 216 to 215 in that game. Some interesting line moves in Major League Baseball today. The Nationals Mets played, the Nats won 1-0 yesterday. So of course today the over under the total is 6.5. Might want to look over there. Joe Ross on the mound. I mean, we're not talking about Cy Young. Pretty good pitcher, pretty good stuff. Just hasn't put it together since the World Series year. They've moved the Nationals from -111 to -119 as favorites. The Giants have won 5 in a row. They're going against the Phillies ace, Aaron Nola. Those 5 straight wins have pushed the line along with some of the respected money from -110 to -119. Some other favorite moves. Let's see, the Padres. Actually, that's an underdog move. Who do we got here? Well, there's several underdog moves. So let's take a look at those. The Rangers against the Twins. Rangers were -132. It's down to -115. Cleveland again against Pittsburgh. More sharp money on Pittsburgh. The Pirates just broke their 10-game losing streak. Maybe the Pirates will win again. The odds say that they probably would be a good bet today, but they're the Pirates and they've struggled, and lots of pro money has been on the Pirates, lots of pro money on the Diamondbacks this year, and it just hasn't happened. Look at last night with Trevor Bauer, all kinds of pro money against him on the Diamondbacks, and Bauer shuts them out 3-0. Cleveland -139 to -13 against Pittsburgh. The Red Sox -133 to -124 against Kansas City. Again, another underdog move. The Padres were -185 favorites to open against the Reds, down to -162. And the Rockies have gone from a dog to a favorite after the big win against the Brewers last night that hurt us. They opened up at +105, and now it's -110. So just a slight favorite, maybe even pick them at this point, but they were a dog. So you're talking about a dog to favorite move. So there's definitely some sharp money pushing that number in that direction. Again, check out the AlgaVision website. I'm here just to kind of provide the transparency. You want the full story, you want to see the pics, you want to see all the documentation, www.algavision.com, ALGAvision.com. Enjoy your Saturday, and we will be back either tomorrow or Monday with another Algalytics segment for you. Thanks for watching.